So when you started a recruiting firm, what was your USP? So it's very funny. When I started recruiting years ago, there were no, and they were talking about decades ago, most of the recruiting firms had websites, but it would just say, hey, we do a placement. We're great, like one or two pages. And what I started doing that was different than other recruiters, I focused doing one type of placement, which was law firm placement. Back then was only attorneys from the best firms and the best backgrounds. So there would have recruiters that went to top law schools and worked in top firms. But the big thing that we did is I started putting out all of these educational articles and things when other recruiting firms didn't have anything up. And even our own recruiters, the first time I put an article up about interviewing, two of the recruiters that worked for me walked into my office and closed the door. And they said, you can't be doing this. If you put articles up about how to interview, people are going to take that information and they're going to get jobs on their own, or other recruiters are going to read this and realize how to prep people. And that's how the market was so long ago. It was literally like there was no information. And so I started creating information, and that became something, I guess, that was a USP. And then later it became that we only did law firm placements, and that it became we can place all sorts of attorneys in all sorts of law firms. And that it's just that it became much different. So USPs can evolve over time. It's not to say that they're always the same, but you do need something that sticks out. I think the one thing that I did also is think in terms of firms thought of me as someone that just gave a lot of information about candidates. And that was my biggest thing. So I'd write a lot of information. I used to write these long letters that would like 5 or 6 pages. I would fly to different cities and meet with candidates. But it's just people do it different ways. And you can do it a lot of different ways, your own USP, but it can definitely evolve over time. And sometimes you may not know what your USP is initially, but like I said, the best way to develop a USP is often to think about what you're interested in. What would you want to be known for? What is it that you find interesting? And what could you see? What would you want people to talk about when they think about it?